Hey everybody, I'm going to do a video, as you can see in the title, about 10 ways that budgeting has changed our lives or our spending habits. And this is a collab video that GazelleInTents and Budget Girl did, and the former Mrs. Jones. I don't know if anyone else did it. If you did, or if you know somebody that did, then send it to me because they're fun to watch. And those are all awesome channels. I'll put their videos below. I'm sure you've seen them, but if you haven't, you should check them out. They're some of my favorites when it comes to this budgeting and Dave Ramsey stuff. And it's cool because each of them are a little bit different. Like GazelleInTents, they are a young, engaged couple. And then Budget Girl, she's single. And then the former Mrs. Jones is more like me because she is married and has a kid. They're already debt free, but they're still just as intense about it as we are. Okay, so I will get down to it. Number one, and I just came up with these quickly, so hopefully I don't regret not saying anything, because you know how I tend to do that. But anyways, number one, we stopped living paycheck to paycheck and overdrafting our accounts, which you probably heard me say in our debt-free scream video. But that's a big deal when you, we were really bad about always overdrafting our accounts because we just didn't plan ahead, and I wonder how much we spent in fees doing that. And now we make sure that we have money left over at the end of the week or at the end of the month, and that, you know, if that still happens, that's a big deal. It won't happen. Number two, I'm sure y'all are tired of hearing this, but we were able to start giving and tithing and just giving in general. You all know Jared has a giving heart now, and without our budget we could not do that. But like when you're doing your budget and you give off the top, it just, I don't know, as I guess to go along with that, as being the person who does the budget, it really makes me feel like being a manager of our money, and I don't just mindlessly spend it. Like, I had to send Jared an email the other day. He got a big bonus and I got my yearly bonus, and we didn't sit there and think, okay, what are we gonna go blow this on? Like, I had to, you know, give our 10% off the top, and then the rest went straight to savings. But I was having to like tell him, put this, I had to tell him, he wanted to do it because he likes to know that feeling of being part of it. He wanted to transfer it to our savings, so I had to say, okay, give this much to the church, put this much in our emergency savings, and put this much in our whatever other savings. And then I got to thinking about that later, and I really felt like I was being a manager of money, so it was funny. I don't know, but basically, without having a budget and telling our money to go, we would not be able to give. And we can go to a restaurant and see our waiters having a bad day and give them a good tip, or, you know, like I said, paying for someone's meal. You know, we're just doing a random act of kindness. We can do that more often now that we are debt free and have a budget. Number three, we don't wonder at the end of the month where our money went. Now, there are times, like maybe with our restaurant envelope, like maybe it's almost all gone after the first 2 weeks of the month, and I'm like, what the heck did we spend the money on? But I keep our receipts now, but it just means that we have to tighten up and stop eating out so much at the last 2 weeks of the month. Basically, because every dollar has a purpose. Hi, Jared.
Hi.
Every dollar has a purpose. We don't have to wonder where our money went. It might not always be an important purpose. Like, Jared bought me this desk right here for Valentine's Day because I've been saying I wanted it, and it seemed kind of silly at first because he has the exact same desk over there, but that's his and that's where he works. And at first when he bought this, I felt like that was kind of a dumb purchase, but I'm really glad that he did because it's helpful for me to come in here and have somewhere to work.
Dumb purchase? You never told me that.
Well, it just seems silly having two desks.
That's my office desk. I don't want any of your stuff.
I know,
on
but
my
when
desk.
you saw how Ashley looked when she walked in here, and it's like, why do you need two desks?
One for you, one for me.
Okay, all I'm saying is it's a little silly, but It seemed a little silly.
Ask YouTube what they think.
Do you think it's dumb? We have two of the exact same desks in our room.
See, look, that's her desk and my desk, because I have to work and I work from home, so.
Jared hasn't made his appearance. Okay, number 4. This is something that Jared said when I asked him his opinion.
Which was?
He said, it makes me want to look for bargains.
True that.
Do you want to explain that?
Yeah, well, like,
Which he does. He doesn't coupon like I do, but he will, like, when he bought his new golf clubs, he made sure to sell his old ones and get some money, so he's like technically save some money on new golf clubs.
And like I'll look for deals like on Groupon to get my hair cut, or oil change, because I don't change my oil. But yeah, just it makes me bargain hunt too. It makes me compare, it makes me think twice about the purchase, makes me think, can I get a better deal? And then, oh yeah, I bought a putter the other day at the Golfsmith, and I just asked him, hey, can you give me a better deal? And he did. He knocked 20 bucks off of it, just like that.
Really not in the shot.
Am I in the shot now? There we go.
Oh, when we were in Nashville, he called the hotel on our last day and asked them the rate. Would they say 116, 149? He said, can you do better than that? And so they knocked $20 off.
$30.
20. Anyways, Jared loves to look for bargains. Number 5, because we're on a budget, we have to meal plan, and that in turn causes me to definitely have to put more thought into what we're eating, and therefore we eat healthier. And yeah, I know that our grocery budget is kind of high for a family of 2.5 people, but you know, I feel like I'm good at showing how you can eat healthy on a budget. It might be higher, and not everybody can afford that, but right now that works fine for us, and just as long as we don't go over that, then I'm content with it, because that's what I set for ourselves. And then, you know, having a restaurant budget, maybe I would spend less going out to eat, and you know, they already serve you too much at restaurants anyway, so because I'm on a budget, I might get the kids meal instead of a regular entree in order to save money, and really that's all you need to eat anyway is the amount that's on a kid's meal. Number 6, it makes us analyze the purchases that we make. Like, you really think about, is this a need or is this a want? You know, because I mean, we have everything we need here, so therefore we stopped buying so much crap when we started budgeting, because there's really nothing that we need. I mean, there's things that we want, but if we really want something, we'll save up for it. We'll put it in the budget and we'll save up for it. And then we can appreciate it more. And it also causes us to appreciate the things that we do have more, because you just really realize how much that you have. Well, we have a lot of stuff, because we've been together for a long time, and our family's always given us stuff. So yeah. Like today we bought a coffee maker, which we probably didn't need, but our other one's pretty old and our coffee's been tasting bad lately, so Jared figured he's been talking to people and came up with the conclusion that we need a new coffee maker. Now if we were still in debt, I probably would have said no and stuck with our old coffee maker, but we can fit it into the budget now and it's okay. So we bought one today. But like I said, we really analyzed it. Do we really need one? Yes, we're coffee drinkers, so we want some good coffee. Number 7, I feel like we're not as materialistic. Like, I don't know, going shopping at the mall now is just a weird feeling to me. We used to go shopping all the time at the mall, but now when I do, it's just, I feel uncomfortable and I feel like, I don't know, it's just weird. You know, I don't want all those clothes and all that crap. Jared, that's a little bit harder for him. But basically, we don't buy as much stuff, and we're about to buy a used car. We actually might purchase Jared's mom's used car, and it's got like almost 100,000 miles on it, and it's going to be a lot different from driving our brand new cars that we have, but I don't care as long as it saves me money. And like, I hardly go shopping for clothes. I realize I have plenty in my closet and there's really nothing that I need. I mean, sometimes I do need it, but I'll just save up for it if I do. Jared used to be really bad about, you know, just going shopping all the time, and would buy a whole bunch of hats and sunglasses, and he still buys some occasionally, but not like he used to. Number 8, there's not really any emergencies anymore. One, because we have our emergency fund, but we've only had to use that one time. In over 2 years, we only had to use that one time, like $250 of it. But I mean, if a bill comes in that was unexpected or something, you know, most things we try to plan for, but if we don't plan for anything, it's technically not an emergency because of the way that we budget, and because of the way we budget at the end of the month, there has to be a big chunk of change left over that either went to debt or now it's going to savings. So if something comes up unexpected, you know, we have that, and it's not technically an emergency. It just sucks that that doesn't get to go where we planned for it at first, but still, that's an awesome feeling to have the money and not have to worry about things like that. Number 9, I said it gives us hope, like, because we're saving now, we can dream, we can talk about our dream vacations, and you know, like one of mine is going to Bora Bora, and I truly believe it might not be anytime soon, but we're gonna get to do that one day. I mean, we could probably start saving up for it now if we wanted, but you know, because we have kids and we're having another kid, it's gonna be a while before we can do that anyway. But like when we were headed to Nashville, we were just talking about where places we'd like to go and our dream vacations, and we're just really hopeful, and we know that we'll get to one day because we know how to save. And we're hopeful for our retirement because we know that we're going to have that covered because we're starting this at a young age, well, somewhat young. And we're hopeful for just everything in our future, for our kids' college. I guess it goes along with our goals. They give us hope and they give us something to look forward to. And then last but not least, number 10, we are debt-free and have more in our savings than we've ever had. And I think we all know that you can't get out of debt and do all that without a budget. So, like Jared said when we were talking to Dave, the budget is the secret to getting out of debt and planning for your future and all that good stuff. And Jared, like I said earlier, because I got my yearly bonus and he got his first commission check for the year, we have more in our bank account than we ever had before, and he just like can't get over that, and he just keeps bringing it up, and I'm like, okay Jared, well, you know, that's not stuff we're gonna go spend on random stuff, and he knows, but he just thinks it's cool because that's ours, we get to keep it, and that's a good feeling. I don't have to worry about paying other people. But anyways, budgeting is definitely a must to succeed, I feel like. I was thinking about, right before I turned the camera on, how budgeting can be negative, and I was thinking about how, like, years ago, for my mom and dad's birthday, I would always just give them like a $50 gift card, and now like our gift budget is $50 for the month, you know, so they don't get as good of gifts as they used to, but I didn't have money for that before, so that was stupid. So I guess that's bad for them, but hopefully they don't care. And if you let the budget control your life and turn you into a crazy person, like I tend to do sometimes, I guess that can be negative. But overall, I'd say it's worked out pretty well for us. So yes, hopefully this video was not too long. If you guys want to leave some comments about how budgeting has changed your life, I know I have some close friends who have just recently started budgeting, and they love it. It's just nice to know where your money's going. You don't have to be as nerdy and as intense about it as I am, but you should still have a plan for your money and not spend mindlessly. Everybody should. So let me know what you think, and I'll put the other YouTubers' videos below, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.